Welcome back to our channel Respect Education. Now we see page number 112 from NCERT textbook, chapter number 8, motion exercise questions, in which first one, an athlete completes one round of a circular track of diameter 200 meters in 40 seconds. Now the question is that what will be the distance covered and the displacement at the end of 2 minutes 20 seconds. So here let us understand, the shape of the track is circular shape. So let us just take a circular track whose center is O and whose radius is R. Whose radius is R. For example, the athlete starts running at A. Again to reach A, he took 40 seconds. Here you understand, he started from A. Again to reach A, that means here to complete one complete round. See here, one round. One round is nothing but, if he starts from A, again he should reach A, so the time taken by him to complete one round is 40 seconds. In other words, you can say, in 40 seconds he can complete one round. Let us write the data here. Let the athlete runs at a track whose center is O, runs on a track whose center is O and radius R. Here it is given that diameter is given as 200 meter. Let us write diameter is nothing but 2R. Given diameter, that is 2 times R, is 200 meter, so that R will be 200 divided by 2. So 100 meter. 100 meter is the radius of the particular track. Here R is 100. Right, 100 meters in fact it is. 100 meters. Now, number of rounds. In 40 seconds is he can complete one round. Now the question is that find the distance, or what will be the distance at the end of 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So let us write here, number of rounds in the given time, that is 2 minutes 20 seconds. 2 minutes 20 seconds. Let us convert this entire value into seconds. 2 into minute. Minute is 60 seconds. So 2 minutes means 120 seconds. 1 minute is 60 seconds. 2 minutes is 120 seconds. So this is 120 seconds plus this 20 seconds. So this total is 140 seconds. In 140 seconds, how many rounds can be completed? Let us send this 40 here down. So 1 by 40 into this 140. So here you will get the number of seconds. 0 0 cancel. 2 7 jar, 2 2 jar. Still more cancellation. It is 2 1 jar, 2 3.5 jar. So he can complete 3.5 rounds. 3.5 rounds. That means here, for example, he starts at A. From here to here it is first round, again second round, again third round, and half round he will be coming exactly a point which is opposite to A. Let us name it this point as B. So if we join this OB, this is also nothing but radius, that is already 100 meters. After completion of 3.5 rounds, he will be there at B. B is his final position. Now the thing is that we need to find the distance, how far he covered. That means 3.5 times this distance on the circular track is called circumference. So 3.5 times circumference of the given circle or circumference of the track. So here let us write now what we need, that is distance covered by him. The distance covered is nothing but 3.5 times circumference of the track. Track is nothing but in the shape of circular shape. So 3.5 times circumference of circle. So here 3.5 times circumference of circle, formula 2 pi r. Let us substitute the values. 3.5 let as it is into 2 means 2, pi is 22 by 7 into r. R is 100. So let us simplify. Here 7, it is 7 1 is 7, this will go 0.5 times, 2 into 0.5 is 1, 2 into 0.5 is 1, 1 into 22, 22, 22 into 100 is 2200. So as you know, radius is in meter, circumference also will be in meter, so that the distance also will be in meter. So 2200 meters, that is what distance covered by the athlete. Once again here you see the distance covered by athlete is, he started at A and here he took 3.5 rounds. That means here 3.5 times circumference of this circle. Circumference of the circle is 2 pi r. 3.5 times means 3.5 into 2 pi r. So 3.5 into, let us substitute the values so that we get the answer as 2200 meters. This is the distance covered by him. Now here is another question, that is what? Displacement. Now here we are going to find the displacement. Displacement covered. Displacement is nothing but the distance between the final position to the initial position. Here you see, if he starts from A, after completion of 3.5 rounds, where he will be? See, this is the first round, he is at A, second round he is at A, third round he is at A, and 3.5, that half round, that the half round he will be at B. Now let us say that final position is B and initial position is A. So here for finding the displacement, we need to write the final position and initial position. Final position is at A, sorry, at B. Initial position is at A. Now the distance between final position to the initial position, the shortest distance is nothing but the straight line here. If you understand, BA is nothing but AB, that is nothing but the diameter of the circle. So here the displacement is nothing but distance between B and A is nothing but the diameter of the circle. Diameter of the circle or circular track, that is nothing but R plus R, that is 2 times R. So simply we can say 2 into 100. So it is 2 into 100 is nothing but 200 meters. 200 meters. Now here let us conclude the question. What will be the distance covered? The distance covered by him is 2200 meters, and the displacement is 200 meters at the end of 2 minutes 20 seconds. So here with this problem number 1 gets completed. Now we see question number 2. Joseph jogs from one end A to the other end B of a straight 300 meters road in 2 minutes 30 seconds. Here there is a road AB whose one end is A and other end is B. The distance between A and B is 300 meters. And after reaching B, he turns around and jogs 100 meters back to a point C in another 1 minute. So after reaching B, he turns back and he jogs to reach a point called C, which is 100 meters far away from B. So if you write the distances here, A to B is 300 meters. Distance between A to B is 300 meters. B to C is 100 meters. So B to C is 100 meters. So we can easily say the distance between A and C. This distance is 300, this is 100. So the distance between A and C is nothing but 300 minus 100. So this is 200 meters. Okay. Now, what are Joseph's average speed and velocities? Means average speed and average velocity. In jogging from, there are 2 bits. First one is A to B. Second one is A to C. Right? Now here let us start solving this. Let us find the first bit, that is A to B, in which first we are going to find the average speed and then average velocity. So for finding average speed, the formula of average speed is total distance travelled from A to B divided by total time taken. So here you observe, A to B, the distance is 300 meters, whereas time taken is 2 minutes 30 seconds. Observe carefully. Here the distance is given in meters. So time is to be converted in seconds. Now first let us convert the time 2 minutes 30 seconds into seconds. That will give us the total time taken. So first here time taken is 2 minutes 30 seconds. As we know, 2 minutes, nothing but 2 into 60 seconds. 1 minute is 60 seconds. So 2 minutes is 2 into 60. So it is 120 seconds plus 30 seconds. This is 150 seconds. This is the total time taken. Here, if you observe, from A to B, it's a straight path. The distance between A and B is 300 meters. That is what required to find the average speed. So here average speed formula is, average speed is nothing but the distance, total distance travelled upon divided by total time taken. Right? Total distance traveled is nothing but, here A to B distance is 300 meters. So 300 meters divided by total time taken is 150 seconds. Let us do here cancellation. On cancellation, 0 0 get cancelled, 30 by 15, 15 1 jar, 15 2 jar. So it is 2 meter per second. 2 meter per second. We found the average speed from A to B, means average speed of Joseph from A to B. Now what about average velocity from A to B? Average velocity is nothing but, average velocity is the total displacement traveled by total time taken. If you understand carefully what is meant by displacement, the shortest distance between the final position to the initial position. Here he started jogging from A, he reached to B. Now at present, under the case of A to B, he is at B. So what is the shortest distance between A and B? Or initial position is A, final position is B. What is the distance between A and B, or final position, initial position? Clearly 300. In this case, we can understand that the total distance and total displacement both are the same. In this case, especially from A to B, the total distance traveled is 300 meters, and also total displacement will also be 300 meters. So average velocity is equal to the total displacement traveled by total time taken, nothing but again 300 by 150. So that is also 2 meter per second. So without wasting our time, let us write directly average velocity will also be same like average speed, that is nothing but 2 meter per second. Here the reason is that, and in this case, the distance traveled or the displacement traveled both are the same. Now we are going to find the other case, that is from A to C. Now again, as usual, time taken. So first let us find from A to C the total time taken. Time taken to travel from A to C. Here according to the question, A to B, here he took 150 seconds, and then from B to C he took 1 minute more. The 1 minute is nothing but 60 seconds. So here to here is 150 seconds, and here to here is 60 seconds. So 150 plus 60, nothing but 210 seconds. Now we are going to find average speed and average velocity. Now here average speed. Average speed, all the formula is written once. Total distance traveled by total time taken. Here total distance traveled is, first he traveled A to B, total, so plus again B to C, divided by total time taken is 210 seconds. So AB, as you know, 300 plus this is 100. A to B is 300 and again B to C is 100. So total 400 divided by 210. 400 is in meters and 210 is in seconds. Now here let us do simplification. 0 0 get cancelled. On simplification, here we will get 40 by 21 is 1.9 meter per second. This is what average speed. Now let us find average velocity in this condition, or in this case, average velocity. Here average velocity is total displacement divided by total time taken. Now here we have to keep little bit concentration. He started jogging from A, he reached to B. Again from B, he came to C. Now finally he is at C. So here initial position is A and final position is C. Displacement is nothing but the difference between the initial position to the final position, or we can say that the shortest distance between the final position, that is C, to the initial position A. So clearly here you see, observe, AC is nothing but 200 meters. This 200 meters can be taken as displacement. Once again here I repeat, the distance that he travelled in this case is AB, again from BC. So here again BC, so 300 plus 100 is 400. But whereas in this case of displacement, we need not to add all those. We should see his final position and initial position. How far is the final position from the initial position? That is nothing but 200 meters. So let us here write 200 meters or AC directly in order to write the displacement. So here I am writing AC by time taken is again 210 seconds. Time is to be calculated completely, total time taken. So now here AC is nothing but 200 meters divided by 210 seconds. Now let us do simplification here. 0 0 get cancel. Now we get 20 by 21, that is 0.9 meter per second. Now here let us conclude the problem. Let us write final conclusion. Therefore from A to B, average speed and average velocity both are 2 meter per second. Whereas from A to C, average speed is 1.9 meter per second and average velocity is 0.9 meter per second. So with this problem number 2 gets completed. Now we see question number 3. Abdul, while driving to school, computes the average speed of his trip to be 20 km per hour. On his return trip along the same route, there is less traffic and the average speed is 30 km per hour. Now the question is that what is the average speed for Abdul's trip? Here, while going to school, this is the average speed 20 km per hour, and while coming back from school, this is the average speed, that is 30 km per hour. Now the question is that we are asked to find the average speed of the whole trip. Here, average speed in the sense, this is not simply speed 1 plus speed 2 by 2. Here that is not asked. If you do so, you will get the answer 20 plus 30 as 50. 50 by 2 is 25 km per hour, but that is not the answer for this question. Let us see how to solve this. Average speed formula is total distance travelled divided by total time taken. Let us write the formula first. Average speed is equal to total distance travelled divided by total time taken. Here if you observe, while going to school from his home, for example, H for his home and S for his school. While going ongoing journey, the average speed is given as 20 km per hour. Right? So here, while coming back from school, on the return journey, the average speed is given as 30 kilometer per hour. Here, what about the distance? We do not know distance. It is not given in the question. Let us consider the distance between house to the school is, let us consider just some x kilometers. For example, let us consider the distance between home to the school is x kilometer. Here you observe, if the distance is x kilometer, what is the total distance that he covered? While going x kilometer and while coming back again x kilometer, because he maintained the same route. That means he will cover the same distance while coming back from the school. So here the total distance is, while going is x and while coming back is x, total distance is 2x. So here let us start the answer here. Let the distance between school and home be x kilometer. Therefore, total distance travelled is x plus x, that is 2x. So here that implies total distance travelled, or simply we can say total distance will be while going x kilometer plus while coming also x kilometer. So it is 2x kilometer. Total distance is ready. Now the total time taken. Here you observe this 20 kilometer per hour refers the speed. X kilometer refers the distance. Now can we find the time taken while going? Yes, time taken while going. Time taken while going to school is distance by speed. Distance is x divided by speed is 20 kilometer per hour. So this is kilometer by kilometer per hour. Kilometer get cancelled. This r will come up. So x by 20 hours. This is what time taken while going to school. Now time taken while return. Time taken while returning or returned. While returning means while coming back. Here the distance is the same, that is x, but the speed is increased from 20 km to 30 km because here it is given there is a less traffic. So whatever reason it is, the speed is 30 km per hour. So x kilometer by 30 km per hour, kilometer get cancelled. So x by 30 hours. Now here again you observe the formula. Average speed is total distance travelled, that is 2x kilometer is ready, whereas total time taken is x by 20 plus x by 30, that is to be added. So here let us write total time taken is x by 20 plus x by 30. For 20 and 30, 60 is the LCM. 60. Here you see 20 into how much is 60? 20 into 3. That 3 into x is 3x plus 30 into how much is 60? 32. 2 into x is 2x. So finally it is 3x plus 2x is 5x by 60. You can even cancel 5 1 jar 5, 5 12 jar. So x by 12 hours. So let us write here. Therefore total time taken is nothing but 5x by 60. Let us do cancellation. 5 1 jar 5, 5 12 jar 60. So it is x by 12 hours. This is the total time taken. This is the total distance covered, that is 2x. Now let us conclude the problem. Therefore average speed of his whole trip is nothing but total distance covered, that is 2x, divided by, here we have total time taken also, that is nothing but 1 by 12 hours. So here let us x by 12 hours. So x by 12. Let us do simplification. Write the numerator as it is and let us take the reciprocal of the denominator. It becomes 12 by x. X get cancelled. 2 12 are 24. What about the units? Distance is in kilometer, time is in hours, so that kilometer per hour. Kilometer per hour. So here average speed is okay. Here what is the average speed for Abdul's trip? We can conclude that the average speed for Abdul's trip is 24 kilometer per hour. With this problem 3 gets completed. Now we see question number 4. A motor boat starting from rest on a lake accelerates in a straight line at a constant rate of 3 meter per second square for 8 seconds. Now the question is that how far does the boat travel during this time? Now let us start solving this problem. First, try to understand the given data. There is a boat starting from rest. It indicates that its initial velocity is 0. When any object starting from rest, its initial velocity can be taken as 0. So let us write given initial velocity nothing but u is 0. Let us write the units little later. Since it is starting from rest, right. Now accelerates means this is acceleration. So acceleration A is equal to acceleration A is 3.0, we can written as 3.0, we can written as 3 meter per second square. Now time taken denoted by small t, that is 8.0, we can take it as 8 seconds. Since acceleration is meter per second square and time is in second, so initial velocity will be in meter per second. Right. Now the question how far? How far means we need to find the distance. How long means we should find the time. So here how far, that indicates distance traveled. Distance traveled, that is denoted by s, it is to be found. Since it is in meter per second and acceleration meter per second square, time is in seconds, distance will be in meters. Now we are going to find the distance. We have formula, that is in fact we have 3 formulas, 3 equations. First one is V is equal to U plus AT. Second one is S equal to UT plus half AT squared. Third one is 2AS equal to V square minus U square. According to the given data, the suitable formula is S is equal to UT plus half AT square, because here these all the quantities are given. So let us substitute the values. S is equal to U into T, since U is 0, 0 into T, T is 8, plus 1 by 2 into A into T square. A is 3, T square is 8 square. A is 3, T square is 8 square. 0 into 8 is 0. Let us write 1 by 2 into 3 into 8 square is 8 into 8. Now let us do cancellation here. This is 2 1s are 2, 2 4s are 8. Now let us write 0 as it is plus 1 3s are 3, 3 8s are 24, 24 4s are 96. 0 plus 96 is 96. As we have discussed earlier the units, that is in meters. Therefore, how far does the boat travel during this time? means we are asked to find the distance. Therefore, the distance travelled is 96 meters during this time. With this fourth problem gets completed. Now we see question number 5. A driver of a car traveling at 52 km per hour applies the brakes and accelerates uniformly in the opposite direction. The car stops in 5 seconds. Here there are two situations. This is situation 1 and this is situation 2. Another driver going to 3 km per hour in another car applies his brakes slowly and stops in 10 seconds. Now the question is that on the same graph paper, plot the speed versus time graphs for the two cars. Which of the two cars travelled further after the brakes were applied? So here we are asked to draw the speed versus time graphs, for which we need to collect the data once again. So here let us write, this is for car 1, this is for car 1 or first car. Let us see here, this 52 km per hour is the speed. So here we can write speed is 52 kmph, kilometer per hour. Let us convert it into meter per second. So 52 into 5/18, then it will be converted into meter per second. Now 52 into 5 is 260 divided by 18 meter per second. On simplification, here we get it as 14.44 so on meter per second. Let's consider it as 14.4 meter per second. This is the speed of the first car. And here let us write the time also. The car stops in 5 seconds. So here time taken is 5 seconds. Let us write the same data for the car 2 also. Here is car 2. Another driver going at 3 km per hour. So we can write it as speed. Speed is 3 km per hour. Right. Now let us convert this value into meter per second. So 3 into 5/18 meter per second. This value will be 3 5s are 15, 15/18 meter per second. Now here on simplification, we get this value as 0.833 meter per second. So let us write it as 0.8 meter per second, for which time taken is, here you observe the question, and stops in 10 seconds. So here we can take time taken as 10 seconds. Now we are going to plot the graph by taking speed, that is 14.4. This is on y-axis and time on x-axis. Similarly, this case also speed on y-axis and time on x-axis. In order to find which car travelled farther, that means the distance travelled by the car can be found if we draw the graphs individually and the area covered under the graph. Right? Now let's enter graph with these values: 14.4 5 seconds, 0.8 meter per second and 10 seconds. Right? And here speed is 14.4 and 0.8. For which here let us consider each as so here 2 is divided by, these are 10 lines. So each line indicates 0.2. Each one indicates 0.2. Now here as we need 14.4, see here 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. After 14 you see the first line gets 14.2 and the second line gets 14.4. So this is here this is 14.4. This is 14.4. This second line 14.4 to 5. And for the second car 0.8 and 10 seconds. So here 0.2, 4, 6, 8. So here this is 0.8. Here this point indicates 0.8 and here is 10. So now we are going to join those two. Now here the area of the graph, which is a right angle triangle, so let us name it as PQ. So we write it as A, B. Area of triangle OAB. This is what? Distance travelled by car 1. Same way, area of triangle OPQ. Now we are going to find the distance. Area of triangle OAB. As we know area of triangle formula, half into base into height. Half into, here base is OB, that is nothing but 5. Height is OA, nothing but 14.4. So 5 into 7.2, nothing but 36 meters. Now let us find its distance. Is area under triangle OPQ. Same way here. See, this is the base 10 and height is 0.8. Height is 0.8. Into 0.4, 4 meters. Now here the question, which of the two cars travelled further after the brakes were applied? See here, therefore car 1 travelled further after the brakes were applied. With this question number 5 gets completed. Now we see question number 6. Figure 8.11, this is the given figure 8.11, shows the distance time graph of 3 objects A, B and C. This is the distance time graph of objects A. This is the graph of object A and this is the graph of object B and this is the graph of object C. Study the graph and answer the following questions. Let us see the questions now. First one, which of the 3 is traveling fastest? The fastest. Let us see now here. See, this block indicates, this box, okay, indicates the graph of B. Means here the origin of graph B. So here you observe the box. It looks like this. Let us draw it separately. This is in this way, right? Here you observe the graph. This is object B. Now, for object A, you see in this box, this is the box, and here the object A moves in this way. See, in this box. Now here object C, you see, object C, it is like this. This is object C. If you draw the x-axis, this is the angle between graph of object A to the x-axis. This is the angle, and here this is the angle for object B, graph of object B and x-axis. And here you see this is the angle between graph of C and x-axis. So here you can understand that here clearly among A, B and C, B makes larger angle with x-axis. This angle is larger. We can say this is the largest among the three. So here whose angle is largest, its slope will also be the largest. Whose slope is largest, that will be the fastest. So here clearly B is the fastest. Clear? So let us write the answer here. Which of the three is traveling fastest? Here we can write object B. Object B. Object B. What is the reason? Here there are two reasons. For A bit, there are two reasons. First one is, it makes the largest angle with x-axis, with you can say positive x-axis. Also, whose slope is larger, or you can say slope is largest among the three. Slope is the largest among the three. That is the reason object B is the traveling fastest. Now let us see B bit. Are all three ever at the same point on the road? Means, do they meet at a point? That is the meaning of the question. Here you observe the graph now here. This is the point of intersection of A and B, and this is the point of intersection of B and C. This is the point of intersection of C and A. But here all the three, they do not meet at a point. So here we can write the answer. Are all the three ever at the same point on the road? No, they do not meet at a point. We can mention here no. Here B bit answer. They do not meet at a point. Meet or intersect, anyone you can write. They do not meet at a point. Now let us see C bit. How far has C travelled when B passes A? By the time B passes A, how far has C travelled? That is the question. Now here let us observe. Here the question is that by the moment B passes A, see this is the point where B passes A. Let us take this point as some P. By the time B passes A, how far has C travelled? So this point is Q. Suppose C the coincidence point you see. By the time B passes A, how far C has travelled. So here you see, by the time here the P, the corresponding value on C, on the graph C is Q. Now here the corresponding one you see, this indicates 8. So here we can write 8 kilometer, but the thing is that this is the starting position of C. See here the graph of C, this is the starting position. Let us take this as R. Right. Now here C has travelled from Q to R. See the corresponding point here I am writing as Q. So it travelled Q to R, not Q to O. So it is Q to R. So here let us write the simplification. This is for C bit. So this distance travelled by C, distance travelled by C when B passes A. When B passes A, the distance is here QR. QR, that is nothing but OQ minus OR. OQ minus OR. Now here let us find what is OQ. OQ is clearly 8, right? And what about OR? For finding OR, you see here, let us count the blocks. Now here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the 4 is divided by 7. So each block indicates, each block is 4 by 7. Because here 4 is divided into 7 parts, 7 equal parts. So each block is 4 by 7. Till here you see OQ. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So this is OQ is 14 times 4 by 7. Minus OR is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 4 by 7. In fact, if you understand carefully, this is 7 1 jar, 7 2 jar, 2 4 jar, 8. See here 8 is matched. Now let us simplify here. 14 4 jar 56 by 7 minus 4 4 jar 16 by 7. So here let us simplify. 56 minus 16, 7 can be taken as LCM. So this is nothing but 40 by 7. So here 7 5 jar 35. Again here 57 7 jar. So around 5.7 kilometers. So C has travelled 5.7 kilometers when B passes A. Clear? So this is the answer for the third bit, that is bit number, bit C. Now let us see next bit. D bit is, so here I am writing the answer for third bit, that is 5.7 kilometer. So this is 5.7 kilometer. 5.7 kilometer. How far B has B travelled by the time it passes C? How far has B travelled by the time it passes C? Let us observe it now here. See, this is the graph of B and this is the graph of C. So at this point, let us take it as PQR over, let us take this point as S. So at S, B passes C. Now let us do here D bit here. So from the graph, B passes C at S, right? Now by the time distance you see here, distance, so let us take the point S here, corresponding value. Now here distance travelled by B, distance travelled by B is nothing but OS, because here B started from origin O. Now here you see OTS, let us count how many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it is not reaching 10, just below 10. So let us take it as, for example, 9.8. Our simplification also will be easier. 9.8 times 4 by 7. Each block is 4 by 7. So let us simplify here. This is 7 1 jar 7 and this is 7 1 jar and 1 4 jar. 1.4 into 4, that is 5.6 kilometers. So here we can write this answer 5.6 kilometer. Let us write here. Now here you see D bit. How far has B travelled by the time it passes C? That is around 5.6 kilometers. So with this, all the 4 bits of problem number 6 get completed. Now we see question number 7. A ball is gently dropped from a height of 20 meters. If its velocity increases uniformly at the rate of 10 meter per second square, with what velocity will it strike the ground? And we have another bit, that is, after what time will it strike the ground? Here two quantities are to be found. First one is velocity and second one is time. Here if we observe the question carefully, a ball is gently dropped. So here just imagine, here is a ball, it is dropped from a height, whereas the height is given as 20 meters. So from this point to this point, if you take this as ground, if you consider this as ground, the height is given as 20 meters. Now if its velocity increases uniformly at the rate of 10 meter per second square, if you understand this question carefully, the given quantity is rate of change of velocity, nothing but acceleration. So here this 10 can be taken as acceleration. So here 10 meter per second square is acceleration. Now we are asked to find the velocity, that is final velocity, and the time taken to reach the ball from this point to the ground. Now here let us start solving this problem. Given here this height, this is vertical height, but this is the distance travelled by the ball. So here we can write, given height is nothing but distance travelled that is, it can be taken as S. Here the distance travelled is given as 20 meters. So S is given. Here if you take this vertically as the distance height and horizontally it can be taken as distance. If not, the height is nothing but the distance travelled by the ball. So here S is 20 meters. And here acceleration A is given as 10 meter per second square. Now we are asked to find the final velocity, whereas here the ball is gently dropped. It means we are not giving any external force, so it is dropped freely. In that case, initial velocity can be taken as 0. Initial velocity u can be taken as 0. Since the distance is in meters, acceleration in meter per second square, we can take the distance, initial velocity as 0 meter per second. Here the reason is that since it is dropped gently, now we are asked to find the final velocity. The first bit is final velocity, that is nothing but v. That is what? Since the initial velocity is meter per second, final velocity also will be in meter per second. Now we are going to find its value. If you observe the given quantities here, S, A, U and then V is required. We have three formulas, three equations of motion. First one is V equal to U plus AT. Second one is S equal to UT plus half AT square. And third one is V square minus U square equal to 2AS. That is suitable here for solving this. So now here we have 2AS is equal to V square minus U square. Let us send negative U square to this side. So here we will get V square equal to U square plus 2AS. So on simplification, V square let us write as it is equal to U square. U is here 0. So 0 square plus 2 into A. Here A is acceleration, that is 10, into S. S is here 20. 0 square is 0 plus 2 10s are 20. 20 20s are 400. So here V square is 400 meter per second. So this is the value of V square, but here we are asked to find V. So let us consider here their square root. So V is equal to under root 400, that is nothing but plus or minus 20, whereas minus 20 is not possible to take because the velocity cannot be negative. Let us consider only plus 20 and units is meter per second. So final velocity is V equal to 20 meter per second. Now let us see the second bit, that is time taken is denoted by T. That is what we need to find. Out of the three equations, first equation is suitable, that is V is equal to U plus AT. Let us substitute the known values. Here V is 20, U is 0 and A is 10 and T let us write as it is. 0 plus 10 into T is 10 into T. So 10 into T is equal to 20, whereas T is equal to 20 by 10, nothing but 2. What about the units here? Since the velocity, both the velocities are in meter per second and A is in meter per second square, distance is in meter, so time will be in seconds. Therefore time taken is 2 seconds. Now here let us conclude. With what velocity will strike the ground? Therefore the required velocity is 20 meter per second, and another bit is after what time will it strike the ground? After 2 seconds it will strike the ground. With this both the bits are completed and problem number 7 gets completed. Now we see question number 8. The speed time graph for a car is shown in the figure 8.12. This is the given figure. Here speed is shown on y-axis and the time is shown on x-axis. Now the question is that first bit, find how far does the car travel in the first 4 seconds. Shade the area on the graph that represents the distance traveled by the car during the period. So here it is asked that how far does the car travel in first 4 seconds. So let us find the distance traveled by the car in the first 4 seconds. So here I am doing the simplification. As we know, distance is equal to speed into time. Speed into time. So here for 4 seconds, here time is 4, the corresponding speed is 6. So here we may think that 6 4s are 24, here meter per second, and second get cancelled, so 24 meters. So this is 24 meters because 4 into 6 speed into time, so 6 into 4. But this is wrong answer. Why? Because here it is not simply speed into time. Here you observe this, it is not a straight line, it is a curved path, right? It's a curved path. Now how to find the distance? First, by 4 seconds you have to draw a line and you have to shade this. You have to shade it completely up to 4 seconds. So now this is shaded, right? This is shaded. Now area of the shaded part gives us the distance. Area of the shaded part. Here this is, since it is a curved one, so it's little bit difficult to find its value. So let us consider this as a triangle. Let us consider this as straight line. So that we get a triangle, right angled triangle, right angled triangle. So here the smaller value can be negligible just for the calculation purpose, not more than that. So here we can take the area of this triangle, that is, you can take this as suppose O, this point can be taken as some A and this point can be taken as some B. So here distance is nothing but area of triangle OAB. Now you will get the exact distance. Area of triangle OAB formula half into base into height. So here let us write half into, here base is OB, nothing but 4, into here height is BA, nothing but here you see 6, this is 6. So on cancellation this is 2 2s are, so final 2 6 are 12, this is meter per second, this is per second, so here second get cancelled, so it is meter. 12 meter is the distance travelled by the car in the first 4 seconds. So here see the question, find how far does the car travel in first 4 seconds. So here the answer is 12 meters, right? And then shade the area on the graph that represents the distance travelled by the car during this period. So it is shaded here, it is completely shading to be done completely. Now B bit, which part of the graph represents uniform motion of the car? See here, observe, if the car is in uniform motion, then the graph should be parallel to x-axis. See here, it is curved till here it is curved. So here onwards, here the corresponding value is 6. So here 6 to till here, 6 to around 10 seconds. Here the graph is parallel to x-axis. So during this period of time only it travels in uniform motion. So let us write the answer now here. The motion of the car is uniform during 6 seconds to 10 seconds as the graph is parallel to x-axis. So here during 6 seconds to 10 seconds only the graph is parallel to x-axis. So during that time interval the car travels in uniform motion. So with this second bit also, B bit also gets completed. Now we see question number 9. State which of the following situations are possible and give an example for each of these. First bit is an object with a constant acceleration but with zero velocity. See the first situation. Here the object is with constant acceleration. That means for this A bit, when an object is thrown upwards, at this highest moment, for example here you can take this point as A. At A, the object comes to rest for a moment, that is called momentary rest. At this point, here there is an acceleration which acts on it, that is what here gravitational pull. So it has acceleration, but at this point the velocity is 0. That is the reason it changes its path, again it will be coming down. So this is what here, it has constant acceleration, that is what gravitational pull of the earth, whereas at this point it has no velocity, that is 0 velocity. Now we see B bit. An object moving with an acceleration but with uniform speed. So here the best example is freely falling object. Freely falling object. For example, we can say dry leaf, which comes out of a tree. So that is an object with an acceleration. It has an acceleration but with uniform speed. Now here let us see C bit now. Let us see C bit. An object moving in a certain direction with an acceleration that is perpendicular to the direction. For example here, an object is thrown in this direction. So here we can say that the object is thrown in horizontal direction, or we can say forward direction. This is horizontal or forward. That means here you see the object moves in the forward direction or horizontal direction, whereas the acceleration due to gravity, it acts towards the earth. That means here you see the motion is towards the x-axis like this and the acceleration is towards downward. So both are perpendicular to each other 90 degrees. So in this case, the object moving in a certain direction with an acceleration that is perpendicular to the direction. So this is the answer for the C bit. Now we see question number 10. An artificial satellite is moving in a circular orbit of radius 42,250 km. Now the question is that calculate its speed if it takes 24 hours to revolve around the earth. So here the artificial satellite, its path is already circular path, it is given. So it's like a circle whose radius is 42,250 kilometers. Now it takes 24 hours time to revolve around the earth. Now here, in order to find the speed, the formula for speed is distance travelled divided by time taken. Now here we need to find the distance travelled. For example, here let us take the starting position as A Again we need to find the distance travelled by it to complete a round, means again to reach A. As this path is circular, the distance is nothing but circumference of the circle. Circumference of the circle formula is 2 pi r. Circumference of the circle formula is 2 pi r. So let us write distance travelled is nothing but circumference of the circle. We can take it as 2 pi r divided by time taken. It is given as 24 hours. As we know, the value of pi is 3.14. So let us write 2 as it is. Pi is 3.14 into radius is 42,250 kilometer. 42,250 kilometer divided by 24 hours. Here I am converting 24 hours into seconds. So each hour has 60 minutes. Each minute has 60 seconds. So 24 hours nothing but 24 into 60 into 60 seconds. Now here let us do simplification. Let us cancel 0 and 0. Now this is 2 1s are 2, 2 3s are 6. Now here these two numbers let us cancel with 5. This is 5 12s are 60. It is 5 8s are 40. 2 is carry forward 22. 5 4s are 22 is carry forward 25. So 5 5s are. Now here we get 3.14 into 845 divided by 24 into 12 into 3. Now here let us cancel 3.14 with 3. 3 1s are 3. It is 3 1s are 3. Let us write the point as it is. As the next number is smaller, we can write 0, that is 14. Here you see. Since it is 14, if you take 3 4s are 12, the difference is 2. 3 5s are 15, difference is only 1. So let us write around approximately 3 5s are 15. So it is 3 into 1.05. I am taking as 3.14. Here you just follow it carefully. It is 14. So here I am taking around 315 jar because to make the simplification easier. Now let us multiply 1.05 into 845. 845 into 1.05. So without decimal I am writing 105. Now here I am multiplying. 5 5 are 25, here 2 is carry forward, 5 5 are 20 plus 2, 22, again 2 is carry forward. 5 8 are 40 plus 2, 42. When you multiply with 0, all the 3 zeros will come. Here 1 into 845 is 845. Now here this is 5, 2, 5 plus 2 is 7, this is 8, this is 8. Since it is 1.05, after point here 2 values are there, 2 digits are there. Here also we should maintain after digit, after decimal 2 digits should be there. So it is 887.25. 1.05 into 845 is, if we multiply these two, we get here 887.25 divided by 24 into 12. 24 2s are 48. 4 is carry forward. 24 1s are 24. That 4 is 28. So 288. Now let us divide this value with 288. So here 887.25 I would like to divide with 288. Let us see 288 3s are 3 8s are 24. 2 is carry forward, 3 8s are 24 plus 2 26, 2 3 2s are 6 plus 2 8. So on subtraction we get here 3, here it is 2. Let us drop here, this 2 will come, so that we will keep the decimal point here. Now the next value 288 1s are 288 which is bigger, so we will take 288 zeros are 0. So again 232 will come as it is because of okay. Now here this 5 can be dropped down here. Now 288 8s are 8 8s are 64, 6 is there, 8 6 are 48, 48 plus 6 is 54, 8 8 are 64, 6 is there, 8 8 are 64 again, 64 plus 6, 64 plus 4, 8 8 are here, 64, so 6 is carry forward, 8 8 are 64 plus 6 is 70, so here 7 is carry forward, 8 2 are 16 plus 7 is 23, so on subtraction here you will get this is 1 and this is 2, because this point here 0 will come, okay, we can stop here now. So here we get 3.08, 3.08 kilometer per second, 3.08 kilometer per second. But here, according to the textbook answer, if you think, here I increased this value by 1, actually here it was 14, but we made it as 3 5s are 15. That 0.01 is increased, that can be subtracted here, so it will be 3.08 will become 7 kilometer per second. Now let us maintain this small gap so that we see the question of here. Calculate its speed, therefore its speed is 3.07 kilometers per 1 second. So here with this problem number 10 gets completed. If you feel this video is helpful to you, please like, share and subscribe our channel, and please do not forget to press the bell button so that you will get the notifications from our channel. Thank you very much.